Hey guys, Travis at One Up Adventures and Fly Products USA. So we often get the question, how easy is it to break down these trikes? Trikes can be a little bit more challenging than a foot launch machine to travel with. So we're going to show you guys today how easy it is to actually break down this Xenit Trike with the Cosmos 300 on it. Now I do want to mention also there are other ways to travel with this motor without breaking it down. It very easily fits in the back of any pickup truck. I've got a mid-size Nissan that I can put this up into the back of, fold the tailgate down, and the rear axle, the wheels hang off the side of the tailgate, and two straps, and it's in the back of my pickup truck. Another way you can travel with it without breaking it down is to put it in a trailer. Now the axle width with the wheels and everything, the maximum width in the back of this machine is 6 foot 4 inches. So you are going to need a 7 foot wide trailer in order to put this into a trailer without breaking it down. But it will fit into a 7 foot wide trailer and you can just roll it in. Now if you don't have a pickup truck and you don't have a 7 foot wide trailer, or you just want to get the maximum available space to put all your gear in one spot, we're going to show you today how quick and easy this trike breaks down without using any tools. All right guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take down the A-assist bar on the Xenit Trike, which is really simple. We've got Velcros on each side that we're going to go ahead and undo here. And then on the other side, we'll do the same thing. Undo the Velcro that keeps it in place. And then the whole bar is just going to roll forward. And that's done. All right, in order to make it easier to fold the trike into itself, we do need to remove the passenger harness. Pretty easy, there's 3 steps on each side. You've got a main carabiner, you've got a forward retention strap, and then this goes from the pilot seat, 1, 2. So that's one side. And we can remove the passenger harness from the trike unit. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna detach the fuel tank from the trike. Fly Products has made this really easy with these quick release clips. So you've got your fuel line right here, and it does seal. Just push the button and it self-seals. And then you've got your vent line, same thing, push the button. And now we are detached from the engine as far as fuel and venting goes. Next thing is we're gonna remove the strap that holds the fuel tank in place. So nice and easy Velcro, comes down, over, and there it is. In about 10 seconds, we've got the fuel tank off the trike. Okay, next we're gonna go ahead and remove the propeller. Of course, we need to get the prop covers off first. So prop covers do come with the Xenit Trike. This is a 150 centimeter prop on it, and they just Velcro together really simply here. All right, so this is the only part in this entire process where you're going to need a tool. So you do need an Allen wrench in order to remove the propeller. So we're going to start in a star pattern and get each one of these propeller bolts loose. Okay, so we've got the propeller removed. So we're going to set the propeller on the ground so there's no stress on the blades, and we're just going to slide the prop plate right out. You can drop the bolts out of the plate, separate the propeller parts, and then you can slide these blades into their respective protective covers. So what I like to do with the propeller plate and the bolts so that we don't lose them, on the harness of the Xenit Trike, you've got pockets on both sides. So I'm going to put these into the pocket. And when we go to put it back together, we know exactly where those parts are at. Next step, guys, we're going to unclip this bungee cord that goes from the cage to the wheel. We're going to unclip the bungee cord that goes from the netting to the axle. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We've got 6 Velcros that hold the cage pieces together. So we're going to undo each one of those Velcros. And I want you guys to see everything that Fly Products makes, everything is captive. So you can see these Velcros can't get away. After I've undone them, what I like to do, just so they don't stick to each other, is go ahead and stick that Velcro back to itself. Do the same thing over here. But it's really nice that they do that because there's no way that you can lose some of these smaller parts, so you don't get to the field and realize you're missing something small like a Velcro. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna disassemble the cage off the Xenit Trike. So I'm just gonna go ahead and loosen these up. So that's loose there. All right, so that section is off. Loosen this up here. All right, we're gonna lift this up carefully. Try not to get the net tangled into anything. And this is our main cage with our netting. We're gonna set this aside. We'll put it together. You can see if you put these parts together, put the net over it, it gets nice and small. The thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the spars that hold the cage together. Really simple. You've got a pin, push pin here. We're gonna pull it. Pull the spar so that we don't lose the push pin. We're gonna put that back through the spar and go ahead and pin it into place. Now we've got 5 of these pins that we need to remove. I'm gonna set this down so we don't mar the paint. This is all one large piece here on the Xenit Trike, but it's got 2 pins that hold it into place. So 1 pin there, 1 pin down here, and the whole thing slides out. And again, we're gonna put the pins back where we found them so we can't lose those. All right, we're gonna go ahead and remove the Velcro strap. It kind of keeps the harness in place underneath here. So really easy. Undo the Velcro. And then you've got the strap that just is here alone. And then this entire seat also has Velcro underneath that we're gonna undo. And then undo the Velcro here. So the seats can now swing. It's not being retained to the bottom frame. Also, I want you guys to know that inside, underneath the seat, is a 340 kilogram reserve, which is plenty of reserve size for doing tandems. So that is in there. That is, we did purchase that as an option with this trike. All right, because we have a instrument panel on our Xenit Trike, which includes things like RPM, tachometer, exhaust gas temperature, and water temperature, as well as magneto test buttons, start and stop, and master switch, we do have to disconnect the electrical harness. If you had a simpler engine or the simpler version of the Cosmos that was just a pull start without the gauges, you wouldn't need to do this next step, but we're gonna have to disconnect, and Fly Products has made this really easy with a harness disconnect just like you would see in a car. We're just gonna squeeze, kind of jiggle, and there we go. So that is the harness that goes up to the instrument panel and all the switches. All right, so our next step is we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the cables that keep the wheels braced and in place. So we've got one right here, just a push pin. Then this cable slides out. We're gonna put the push pin back in so that we don't lose it. I'm just gonna set this cable through here into the side. Now you can see the trike has not collapsed on itself yet. Okay, one last cable that we need to disconnect is this cable right here on the right side. Again, it's got a really simple push pin. We're gonna move that. We're gonna put the push pin back through the cable so we don't lose it. The next step is back behind the trike, where you've got 2 cables. The one that's in the rear has a little lip, and we're going to pull that out of the lip. Now at this point, if I was to lift the trike and push these wheels forward, they're going to roll forward. We're going to go ahead and do just that. So I'm going to lift. All right, so now the trike is resting on the base of the frame. The wheels can roll forward. Now, for many of you, you may want to stop right here. This may be enough for you to get it into the back of your minivan or your smaller trailer without any problems. But we're going to show you how to get this trike even smaller. Now, if you were to stop here, what you would want to do is Fly Products does supply Velcro straps with the trike. So the wheels can go all the way up, the Velcro straps can go around, and that way, with the help of somebody else, you could lift this trike up and put it back into the back of your small trailer at this point. So the next step to make the trike even smaller is we're going to disconnect the main frame of the trike from the stand-up. The stand-up is what the Cosmos 300 or whatever engine you have on your Xenit Trike is on. So again, they've made this toolless. You've got a pin right here. This is just a safety pin, so this can't undo itself. So we're going to pull the pin. I'm going to put this in my pocket for the moment. And then you've got a little T-handle here. We're going to go ahead and unscrew this. Okay, then we just pull the other side out. For now, I'm just going to stick these together and again, put them in the pocket with that pin that I removed earlier. I wanted to show you guys really quick. What's nice that when we remove the pin that holds the trike main frame to the stand-up frame for the motor, you don't need to worry about everything falling apart because the way that this is designed, it's got a weld-in clip there. So it actually takes some pressure to remove that, as you can see. All right, next thing, we're going to separate the main frame of the trike from the stand-up, the vertical frame that holds the motor onto it. So you can lift this up high. And again, if you have a friend that can be there to help you out instead of holding the camera, it can make this slightly easier. But Allie is actually helping me, believe it or not. Okay, so that's down. We're going to drop the main frame. Pull the harness up out of the way. There we go. And there it is, guys. This is a Fly Products Xenit Trike Cosmos 300 dual spark, folded up in about 5 minutes. Once you know what you're doing, it really doesn't take that long. And now you've got everything even smaller to put it inside of a small trailer, or you could even fit this in the back of an SUV. Now let's talk about weight. We did weigh this unit the other day. It was 187 pounds, and that included 5 liters of fuel and the 340 kilogram reserve. And again, this is the dual start Cosmos with a battery and gauges. So we figured if you take off the weight of the reserve and the fuel, the total all-up weight would be about 160 pounds as configured.
All right, guys, so we've shown you how easy it is to break down the Xenit Trike for a purpose of travel, but I want to show you how easy it is to build it once you arrive at your location. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift up the main cage itself. I'm going to reach down here and grab the motor frame, and this will lock in. We took these parts off earlier. We're going to go ahead and reinstall them. There we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and twist this on. It's a locking tool. All right, once you get it nice and tight, you'll go ahead and put this push pin in, and what that does is it keeps it from being able to untwist in either direction. Okay, so the next step is rolling the wheels back and making sure that the 2 cables in the middle actually come out and help keep these wheels in place. So I'm standing on these 2 side cables that will actually attach up here, and when I lift this, it'll tension the cables and cause the wheels to roll back and bring those cables back, holding this motor itself up. Hold the motor and connect that. So I'm going to continue holding the frame, reach down, grab this cable, you make sure the push button side is actually away from the harness so you can't accidentally press the button. We'll pull this, and you have a hook right here. It'll attach to that. The tensions. There you go. All right, so now that we have all of the cables attached, the trike is nice and stable again. You don't have to worry about it falling over. This is my favorite. You take the connector, boom, plug it in. Okay, so the next step is connecting the passenger harness. So this block actually locks the frame for the motor and the frame for the trike together when traveling. So all you do is you add this clip. When it moves up, you connect this clip to that block and it holds it all together. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and connect the Velcro underneath the pilot harness. All right, so we also have this strap that's connected underneath the pilot harness, and it attaches to the Velcro here. And we'll run it back through and then it clips right back onto its own Velcro. So in order to strap the fuel tank down, we'll start with the retainer clip right here. We'll run the strap around the back of the main frame. We'll run it down the front of the fuel tank, wrap it around the main frame again, run it back up the front of the fuel tank, and it has Velcro, and it straps onto itself. We have the two fuel lines. One is the breathe line, which we will connect here. You'll hear it clip in, and we have the fuel line quick disconnect. But we are going to assemble the spars next and get it ready to put the net on. We will assemble the outside spars. Once the spars are installed, you can install the net. And remember that the Fly Products logo is always on the outside. Now that the net is installed, we want to go ahead and finish tensioning it. So the two bungees here, this will go behind the cable. We'll stretch it and clip on. Out here, this clips in here. So now that we have the rest of the main elements put together, we can go ahead and reinstall our A-Assist/cockpit. So we'll just lift this up, and we've got Velcros that will run around here. As you can see, this is our wiring harness for the cockpit as well. All right, so we have the last most important part of building your paramotor when you get to the fly-in. It's putting the prop on. All right, so now that the prop is assembled, we're gonna grab the prop bolts and plate out of the pocket that we stored them in. Gonna go ahead and finish installing the prop.
All right, guys, thanks for watching and giving us the opportunity to show you how to break down the Xenit Trike as far as it will go and how to reassemble it from that point. Now, you may not need to break it down as far as what we did. There are other ways of transporting it, right, Allie?
Yeah, so this trike will fit partially broken down into the back of a truck. You can load it up into a 7-foot trailer. There's a lot of different ways to travel with this.
Right, and actually you can get into the back of the truck without breaking down anything. As long as you're not worried about the weather, like we said earlier, it will fit into the back of a pickup truck. Also, you wanted to talk a little bit about the trike, the way it's built.
Yeah, so typically when people are shopping for trikes, there's two main things that they're looking at. They're either looking at how strong and sturdy and how hefty it is, or they're looking at how easy it is to break down. We're actually really excited because this particular trike has both. It's a hefty frame, it's strong, it's sturdy, it's commercial grade, but it also breaks down really easily, which we found to come in handy so far, and we're really excited for the summer to find out just how handy it really can be.
Yep, so if you guys have any questions at all, please give us a call. flyproductsusa.com or oneupadventures.com. We're easy to find, and thanks for watching.